A legacy of power, the Murdaugh dynasty in South Carolina. The Lowcountry of South Carolina, with its moss-draped oaks and languid rivers, holds a history steeped in tradition and power. For generations, the Murdaugh family reigned over this region. They were legal titans. Their influence spanned courtrooms and law offices. The name Murdaugh commanded respect. It instilled fear. They were the epitome of Southern aristocracy. Their word was law, or so it seemed. The patriarch, Randolph Murdaugh III, followed in the footsteps of his father and grandfather. He served as the 14th Circuit Solicitor. This powerful position gave him control over prosecuting criminal cases. He held sway over a 5-county area. For 87 years, the position was held by a Murdaugh. This dynasty seemed untouchable. Their power appeared absolute. Their wealth was evident. They owned a sprawling estate. They enjoyed lavish vacations. The Murdaughs moved in elite circles. They were prominent members of the community. They were benefactors to charities. They seemed to have it all. But beneath the surface of success and privilege, a darkness lurked. A series of tragic events would soon expose the cracks in their carefully constructed facade. The name Murdaugh, once synonymous with power and prestige, would become entangled with something far more sinister. It would become a symbol of suspicion, scandal, and ultimately tragedy. The Murdaugh dynasty, a tale of power, privilege, and a fall from grace. Tragedy strikes, the fatal boat crash, and Paul Murdaugh. The year was 2019. A late-night boat crash sent shockwaves through the community. Paul Murdaugh, the youngest son of Alex Murdaugh, was at the helm. Alcohol was involved. The crash claimed the life of 19-year-old Mallory Beach. The tragedy sent ripples of grief and anger through the Lowcountry. Paul, a scion of the Murdaugh dynasty, found himself at the center of the storm. Accusations of preferential treatment swirled. Whispers of a cover-up began to circulate. The family's influence was called into question. The case dragged on, fueling public outrage. The Beach family, devastated by the loss of their daughter, sought justice. They filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Murdaughs. The lawsuit threatened to expose the family's secrets. It promised to reveal the extent of their influence. The tragedy cast a long shadow on the Murdaugh family. It would be the first in a series of events that would unravel their carefully constructed world. The boat crash was a turning point. It was a crack in the veneer of respectability. It hinted at a darker underbelly to the family's legacy. The Lowcountry watched, waiting to see if justice would be served. Paul was eventually charged with 3 felony counts, including boating under the influence. The legal battle was intense, with both sides presenting compelling arguments. The trial was set to be a landmark case in the Lowcountry. The Murdaugh family faced intense media scrutiny. The community continued to mourn Mallory Beach, seeking closure and justice. The tragic boat crash left an indelible mark on the Lowcountry, forever changing the lives of those involved. Shadows of doubt, unraveling a web of mysterious deaths. As the investigation into the boat crash continued, other mysterious deaths surfaced. These deaths were linked to the Murdaugh family. Each death raised more questions than answers. The cases fueled speculation. They cast a pall over the once respected family. In 2015, the family's housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, died under suspicious circumstances. Her death was ruled an accident. However, inconsistencies in the case raised red flags. The Murdaughs settled with the Satterfield family. They did so quietly, out of court. Then, in 2018, Stephen Smith, a young man from the same small town, was found dead on a rural road. His death was ruled a hit and run, but rumors persisted. Some whispered that Stephen had ties to the Murdaughs. They suggested a possible cover-up. With each new revelation, the web of intrigue grew more tangled. The Murdaugh name, once a shield, became a target. The family's past was coming back to haunt them. The Lowcountry watched, captivated and horrified, as the truth slowly began to unravel. The boat crash that started it all was just the tip of the iceberg. Investigators uncovered a series of cryptic clues that hinted at a larger conspiracy. The community, once united in grief, now sought justice and answers. New evidence brought the Murdaughs back into the spotlight as the quest for truth continued. Section 4. The investigation, uncovering the truth amidst whispers and speculation. The investigation into the Murdaugh family was complex. It was fraught with challenges. The family's influence ran deep. Their connections reached the highest levels of law enforcement. Investigators faced a daunting task. They had to separate fact from fiction. They needed to unravel years of secrets and half-truths. Public pressure mounted. The media scrutiny was intense. Every move the investigators made was analyzed. Every piece of evidence was scrutinized. The case became a national obsession. People were captivated by the story of wealth, power, and the potential for corruption. The investigation took unexpected turns. It uncovered financial irregularities. It revealed possible obstruction of justice. The authorities were determined to uncover the truth. They were unwavering in their pursuit of justice. The fate of the Murdaugh family and the trust of a community hung in the balance. As the investigation progressed, new evidence came to light. Breakthroughs were made, bringing them closer to the truth. The community's demand for justice grew louder. The courtroom became the stage for the final act. The verdict would determine the future of the Murdaugh family. The community and the nation awaited the outcome with bated breath. Section 5. Justice and its cost. The impact on a community divided. The Murdaugh case had a profound impact on the small community of Hampton County. It divided families. It shattered friendships. It eroded the trust that once held the community together. The case became a constant topic of conversation. It was a source of endless speculation and debate. Some residents stood by the Murdaughs. They clung to the family's legacy. They refused to believe the accusations. Others felt betrayed. They felt that justice had been denied for too long. They demanded answers. They wanted accountability. The case exposed the deep-seated divisions within the community. It highlighted the power dynamics that often influence justice. The Murdaugh case served as a stark reminder that no one is above the law. It showed the devastating consequences of unchecked privilege and power. In the aftermath, the community began the slow process of healing. Support groups formed and neighbors leaned on each other for strength. Local leaders stepped up to address the concerns and rebuild trust. Community events were organized to bring people together and foster unity. Slowly, hope began to return as the community looked towards a brighter future. The resilience of Hampton County shone through as they worked to overcome the divisions and rebuild stronger than before.